If you are wanting to make more money, if you are wanting to rise up within the ranks of your company, then you need to start thinking a little differently, okay? And I'm going to share the one thing that really changed everything for me. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If we haven't met yet, my name is Kayla, and this is where we talk all about project leadership. If this is something that is interesting to you, I want to invite you to subscribe and let me know what questions you have about this topic. And let me tell you, you don't have to be a project manager to be interested in project leadership. This really affects all aspects of an organization. So let me know what questions you have. I want to know how I can help you. Okay, on to today's topic. This is a really good one, okay? I know it's a question that a lot of you are asking, and that is, how can I make more money as a project manager? And let me tell you, I asked myself this for years. For years, I asked myself this question, and I did not understand why I was not getting the raises that I wanted, why I wasn't getting the promotions that I wanted, because I was a good project manager. I was doing everything that was asked of me. I was crossing off all the tasks on my list. I was an amazing project manager, but I wasn't getting the money that I wanted. And it wasn't until I really internalized one thing, one secret that changed everything for me and ultimately led to me making the money that I wanted to make. So like I say, it was one secret that I took and I internalized, but I created a whole strategy around it. And I used this strategy at two different organizations that I worked with, okay? The first organization, I got a 25% pay raise within 4 months of being hired, along with a promotion. The second place I used this at, I got a 50% raise within 6 months of getting hired, along with a promotion and a very generous bonus package. And let me tell you, this did not happen by me being a really good project manager, okay? So I think if I could make one thing clear, that is it. You're not going to be making significantly more money if you keep doing everything like a project manager. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a project manager. There are a lot of things we talk about on this channel with project management that are very important not only for project managers to learn, but anyone who is a leader in any capacity needs to know this. So I don't want you to take this as like project management is not something we should invest our time in. But if you are wanting to make more money, if you are wanting to rise up within the ranks of your company, then you need to start thinking a little differently, okay? And I'm going to share the one thing that really changed everything for me. And that was, I went from thinking like an employee or a project manager to thinking like an owner. Okay. This was a big shift for me. Even though I had owned my own businesses before, I thought I was thinking like an owner. I thought I was, but in reality, I was thinking like a project manager. I was thinking in terms of procedure and process and all of this stuff that we learn as project managers that is very important, but that's not how owners think. Okay. And if we want to get through to owners, and if we want to make big changes, big positive changes in companies, we have to start thinking like owners. And what do owners think about most of the time? They think about money, about how to drive more revenue, how to make more sales, how to bring in more business, how to increase the bottom line, which really means being smart about our costs. So as project managers, if we can shift our thinking and start to think more like this, then we are in really ideal positions to make big positive changes in terms of growth in our companies. As a project manager, you are sitting in an ideal seat to see all of the different pieces of your organization, how they all work together. Typically, project managers have access to a lot of different departments. We have access to sales and marketing and operations and product and the C-suite. In particular, and I should say this as well, in particular, if you are working with lean teams and startups, and these are the teams that I have used my strategy at and was able to make big changes for myself in terms of my own pay. So please do keep that in mind, that your strategy might change based on the type of company that you're working with. If you're working with a more bureaucratic organization, you may have to use a little bit different strategy. But for startups and lean teams, this is really what needs to happen, because even more so, owners and executives are really focused on revenue and how can we bring in more sales and make more money. As a project manager, like I say, you are in an ideal spot to understand how this is all working together. So what I want you to do, because you're probably asking me, I don't have time for this, Kayla. Like I'm doing the project manager stuff. Am I not supposed to be a project manager anymore? No. Continue being a project manager, but I'm telling you, you could pay attention to these other pieces. And if you start to think like an owner, you'll notice that different things stand out to you. And you'll start to see opportunities, and you'll start to see places where you could maybe shift the pieces around a little bit to make a big difference. So I want you to pay attention to these things, start to take note of them. Like I say, I have a whole strategy around this that I want to share with my viewers eventually through a series of videos. But the most important piece is to start to notice those things and to develop the skills that you need once you have come up with a strategy to present these findings to your leadership, to the people that ultimately make these decisions. You are going to need to be able to have relationships with those people. You're going to need to be able to communicate with those people and present things to those people in a way where they understand, know, and trust you. And if you can do that, if you can do both of those things, then you're putting yourself in a really good position to go from being a project manager to being a really integral part of the leadership team of that company. And that's where you're going to find the big salary jumps, not typically as a project manager, which is fine, right? You're going to find those big salary jumps when you make really big changes like this, when you make a big difference in the company in terms of seeing where you can drive revenue and cut costs. So if you are a project manager who is very interested in moving up the ladder in this manner, then this would be my biggest piece of advice for you. Now, if you are a project manager who's not interested in that, that is fine too, because I have also been there where I'm perfectly happy with being a project manager. So do what is right for you. But if you want to make big differences in your paycheck, that's ultimately what you need to do. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful to you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.